Aston Villa 1, Newcastle 3.
FA Cup.
Thanks, buddy.
Congratulations to you, and hello, and well, it's good afternoon now.
It is.
To everybody here in New South Wales, up there on SENQ Queensland as well. The Gold Coast is 1160. Did I get that one right, Mulchi?
693. They'll be listening to us.
Oh, 693.
693.
Hello to you as well, Mulchi. Alex Molchanov.
Nice
Did I
to be
get
with
that
you,
right?
Mike.
So there you go. Adam Peacock. Congratulations to Newcastle
Thanks,
and
Bozza.
all the teams who won their fourth round fixtures and are into the fifth round FA Cup. Oldest sporting competition in the world. Absolutely phenomenal. We saw some real, you could say, old-time sights on some of those pictures that we saw of the pitches in mud and so forth. And that was traditionally why a lot of the big teams used to get knocked out, because it was like the worst part of the year in terms of the pitches, and they weren't so nice, and it used to even teams out. So there you go. And we've got a massive morning coming up for everyone.
Or
Talk
afternoon
about football.
even, given it's the afternoon. It's
Well, that's
the
what I
show's
just said,
called Arvos.
just gone afternoon. So please call in wherever you may be, not only around Australia but around the world, to talk about anything, whether it be local football, whether it be overseas football. We've got an action-packed show. We've got the Champions League knockout stages starting again this weekend. We've got the Europa League starting as well this week. Arsenal play Wolves in the Premier League, full Premier League program coming up. A few little surprises as well all around Europe in terms of where teams are standing and so forth. So take it away, Adam.
Yeah, that's all we've got time for today. Thanks very much. No, Bozza's here for the first hour of this particular show. Later on, we've got Jaleesa Apps to talk a bit of NRL. We'll update you or reiterate what happened in the cricket. We've got some Winter Olympics on the way, and a whole heap else from the world of sport. We have. Yeah. We absolutely have. But football is our thing in this first hour, as always on a Tuesday with Bozza. FA Cup on the weekend. One thing I did want to point out, not so much the result from the Newcastle game, but Boz, this was a game, and this is relatable for rugby league audiences as well, those who love their rugby league or any sport, where technology has become a factor, an absolute factor.
Yeah.
VAR has come into football. We saw in the FA Cup fourth round, there is no VAR. It's all on the refs. Chris Kavanagh, who was the ref of the Aston Villa game against Newcastle, made 2, if not 3, really bad ones that on reflection he'll look back on and review his own game and
Did you hear me say anything about that? I just congratulated you.
No. Because we still won the game. Yeah. You wouldn't have heard the end of it if we didn't win the game.
Yeah, well,
they went against Newcastle.
The problem.
But what I'm saying is about we got an inkling into life without VAR. Was this a ref relying on the fact that he's now reffing with VAR and now we've been exposed to what it's like without it?
Yeah,
or did we see something? Because I've got a feeling about if you peel back all this technology, well, then you've got to peel back your anger towards a wrong decision.
Here we go.
Now, that's not going to happen, is it?
I know, but I love the fact that you've got massive dreams and you want to change things, not only in football, but in society. Peel back. Get down to the core, the general behaviour of individuals. I love that, but ain't going to happen. So it's more the first one, right? It's the first one. It's like you said, it's because they're being conditioned now. They've got the VAR to go to. There's not as much pressure on them. Yeah. And I understand that. I'm a big fan of VAR, as long as it doesn't go down to the microscope.
Which it has.
Well, in some instances, not always. Not always.
Boss, there's been guys offside by a millimetre on their shoulder.
That's if you're offside by a shoulder, you're offside.
Okay.
Right? That's Alex, you correct me here. Which one's subjective and objective? That's subjective, right?
That's objective.
That's objective. There's no you're offside, you're offside. That's it. If you want to tittle with the rules like Arsene Wenger suggested to maybe have a gap in between players, different story. But that is completely, what was it again, Alex? Subjective.
Objective.
I just see if you're still there, buddy. Yeah. But the other stuff, I'll give you an example. 2018 World Cup final, France versus Croatia. The first penalty that was given to France off the corner, I think it was Ivan Perisic, whether or not it was a handball. If you have to look at something over 5 times, it's not clear and obvious. That's all. Then you save a lot of time. But the other one, especially with SOAT, which is a self-automated offside technology. Yeah. It's either offside or it's not. So that's it. But it's definitely conditioning, buddy. It's kind of like turning around and saying to me for the last 5 years, Boz, don't worry about LBWs, because if they want to go, do your best with it. But if they want to go upstairs for whatever they call it in cricket, if they want to go upstairs, DRS. Then all of a sudden you're saying to me, oh, by the way, before the quarterfinals in the Cricket World Cup, you have to give LBWs. I'm like, oh, gosh, okay. Yeah. All of a sudden I'll be like, there'll be a ball nearly going for a wide, hitting the pads. I'll be going, yeah, he's out.
Text on the text line 0457 736 736. Hi, guys. Can Mark go through the whole show without laughing?
How about no?
Oh, I reckon I could because, and I'll tell you why. Because to laugh, you need to have the right atmosphere as well. And I believe that today you're on one of those serious days. And I'll tell you why. Because at Stan Sport, we just finished filming our added time show, which is on. I think it starts on. It's on YouTube and all the other things and that.
It's on Stan Sport as well.
On Stan Sport, obviously, yeah. And we had the most decorated Australian player of all time, Craig Johnson, on, and he was, we talk about conditioning. He's got some very serious ideas of how to help Australian football, help the younger players, and do it in conjunction, in conjunction with A-League and W-League football, which was very interesting. So I think, coming back to the original question, I think I can go this hour without laughing.
Oh, we'll test that. That text from Steve. Thank you for that. We'll
Stevie
get to
boy.
more texts a bit later on. But overall, the FA Cup. So we've got the draws done. No massive boilovers. You had Grimsby and Wolves playing in the the dirt, in the mud. Burnley got defeated by Mansfield Town. That was the big upset. Mansfield now hosting Arsenal in the 5th round.
Yeah.
But it's not the best. I mean, Newcastle and Manchester City again in a cup, but the one that stands out in the 5th round draw, Boz, and this is where it starts to get serious about the FA Cup, there's 183 team changes in the 4th round, but that's just teams juggling things as it goes on. Wrexham and Chelsea in the FA Cup.
I don't know.
That's amazing.
I don't know because you're such a good person. You don't want to you don't want to be too biased, but I'm not, so I can be biased. Also, Newcastle, Manchester City. That's a huge game.
I mentioned that, but
I know, but that is the game of the round.
Box office.
Okay, for Wrexham, for
Chelsea.
Those who don't know, please get on Netflix. I think it was for the story about Wrexham. Only
Disney.
time in Disney. Sorry, all right, one of the two. Tomato. One of the not one of the only time that a team has actually come up all the way from non-league into the championship, and they've actually been doing well in the championship as well. And they're owned by the two gentlemen,
Ryan Reynolds,
Ryan,
and,
the two
Rob Mack.
the two R's from the two Canadians from Hollywood fame. And they toured here in Australia. Remember the crowds they had here in Australia were phenomenal. It was 40,000 in Melbourne and 40,000 here on a Tuesday night. So that'll be an outstanding clash. I mentioned the fact Newcastle versus Manchester City. Liverpool should deal with Wolves, no problem whatsoever. West Ham Brentford will be a tasty game. Be interesting to see because West Ham are really making a bid to make sure they stay in that Premier League. I think we'll be interested to see what changes if they make of any. And obviously Port Vale or Bristol are still got to play. They're playing in the morning to see who will play against Sunderland.
No, they're playing in a couple of weeks because their pitch got frozen.
Oh, right. Okay. It's 4th of March. Sorry. I thought it was in the morning. Yeah. I thought it was West Ham. Fulham, Southampton. Fulham should deal with that. Leeds were very lucky in the penalty shootout win against Birmingham. They've got Norwich. Mo Toure, who's an Australian young boy who scored a hat-trick.
5 goals in 3 games.
He's an outstanding player. I said
First in, what was it, Mulchi? 117 years to start with Norwich like that. 5 goals in 3 games. I read a stat.
I already...
I'll take your word for it.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I already... okay. All right,
Anyway, okay.
Yeah, vehicle, yep.
Boz is reading his text. Before I jump in...
My car's ready. Okay, there we go. Just I'll tell everyone, that's all. I'm only being honest. Yeah.
Your car's ready from what?
No, I had to put in for service this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they
regular,
texted me
just
to
an
say-
oil change, or
No, I think they had to. What was it? Yeah, they did.
This is
all
brilliant
the
radio.
Technology. Yeah,
Bozza reading
technology
his
stuff.
text to
Sorry,
himself.
sorry about that. Yeah. If you have any questions, sorry, I gotta see if I got any questions. Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Oh, okay, go on.
Igor Tudor, is he the man for Tottenham to get him out of this funk, and he takes on Arsenal first up in the Premier League?
Look, they are in a relegation fight. There's no doubt about that. Even more so. I didn't think last season, as much as they flirted with it, that they were actually in a true battle. But I think this season is a little bit different because 2 reasons. Number one, because of the way that they're playing, especially at home. And the second reason is because, again, this is the second season on the trot that they're around there. And it's only 5 points difference. Last season, I think you'll find the points difference for the majority of time was, 8 and more. Yeah.
They were wilting.
So
they
were
never going to get relegated.
No, I don't think they were never going to get relegated either. So, interesting choice. Croatian. It was an excellent player. Recently managed in Serie A with Juventus and Lazio. And
He's
also
been at some big clubs.
Yeah, and Marseille.
never
And you
there for
remember?
long.
No, you remember he was at Marseille. No, he hasn't been. He was at Marseille when they were actually when there were still group stages in the Champions League. Actually played against Tottenham in that really tough group where they actually could have went through, and Tottenham ended up beating them. And I saw as well, there's the boy who was, I think he was born in Australia, of Croatian.
Ante Seric.
Ante Seric,
He's the same age as Igor Tudor.
Yeah.
They must have played with each other at Dinamo Zagreb or with Croatia or stuff.
Yeah.
They were spotted on a plane travelling over to London to do the deal with a big bowl of Granny Smith apples in front of him. Igor doesn't look like it looks like he's just been told it's grand final day, but you have to go to IKEA for 6 hours and miss the game.
Yeah, there you go.
And not be able to watch it. What do you think of that, Boz? He doesn't look like the happiest chap going around.
No. Look, as much as it's great to get a job when you're a manager of this, and especially of this size, because they are a big club. They're not a super club. We had that little thing with Ange Postecoglou saying that they're not really a big club. I understand where he's coming from, but they are a big club. All right, their stadium and the gate receipts from the stadium and what they earn is up there in the top 10 in terms of. So they are a big club and historically a big club. They're not a super club, as to speak, in terms of your Real Madrids, Manchester Cities.
They can't compete financially with
Liverpool.
Those guys.
No, not at the moment, right?
At the moment.
But they're not in a good way. So he knows he's got a task ahead of him. And his first game is the North London Derby against Arsenal, which we know about new managers bounce, and that happens more often than not. I'd say between 80 and 90% of the time. So hopefully for him, that will be the case. But I tell you what, Arsenal have been formidable.
I will say, though, I spoke to an Arsenal fan last week, and he said, every game I've got this feeling of dread growing.
Because they're nervous.
Because they're nervous.
They're nervous.
That game against Brentford
22
last
years?
Friday morning, our time, was a brilliant game of Premier League
Great
football.
game. Great game. I watched that game. Great game.
They lost points.
Yeah.
They gained 1 point, didn't win all three.
Yeah.
Did that give you a bit of an indication that they are actually nervous?
No.
And they're going to struggle to get across the line?
No, it gave me two indications. Number one, Brentford are an exceptional side.
At home, especially.
Yep. Especially at home. You're so right. And sitting seventh there on the table on 40 points, they're only 4 points off fifth place, which fifth place we believe would give you a Champions League spot.
Yep.
They really missed Thomas Franco, obviously. Just a little joke. Anyway, I don't want to laugh. You said not to laugh for an hour.
You nearly broke it.
Yeah. I used to have a teammate of mine, Roy Keane, who went, like if we were playing five or so, even on match day, if you were suspended or you didn't play, you're rested or injured or whatever. And if he was in the team that won, he'd come in front of everyone, just turn around and say, just say you were rested, Yeah, really missed you today, Adam. Yeah, really missed you today. So I'm sure the Brentford staff and players are texting him Waymo and Thomas Frank and all the staff. I really missed you today. No, they wouldn't. So and the other thing as well, the amount of games that they've been playing. Now, Arteta's done a very good job juggling thus far, but now we're really getting to the business end of the season. It's hard to explain in words unless you've experienced yourself, not only from a physical perspective, but a mental perspective, what it does take out of you coming into this time of the year, because you're over halfway of the season. It's becoming a little bit of a slog. The winter's sort of, you're deep. You're just coming out of the winter.
Yep.
So it's a difficult time, and you can see if you're not rotated properly, it can just get a little bit laborious. But the bottom line is they got a point, and that was the most important thing. So 4 points clear still of Manchester City, 7 of Aston Villa. But if you said to any Arsenal supporter, no matter how nervous you are, if I said to you, after 26 games, so that's with 12 games to go, you will be 4 points clear of Manchester City at the start of the season. I'm quite certain that 99% of the Arsenal support. Are you Arsenal supporter, Mulchi?
No, I'm a Sheffield United supporter. I
you're
don't
still
get
sticking to
involved
that. I'm trying to catch you out.
I don't
That's
get
why.
involved in.
Everyone that's listening,
like
I'm trying to
this,
catch him out because he keeps sticking with Sheffield United. It looks like he could be.
None of this Premier League garbage, eh, Mulchi?
Yeah, hey, Mulchi, yeah.
On a consistent basis, anyway.
Hey, lad, proper football, lad, eh? And anyway, so I think the majority of Arsenal supporters would have turned around and said, tell me where I sign.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Any updates on the car? Any major
No,
structural
I
damage?
don't want. You said not to talk about it, so I got all shy. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So there we go. So so that's how I see it from that perspective.
A-League football from the weekend.
Yes.
Another good round of football. Newcastle Jets flying. Just though tonight Sydney FC play at Leichhardt Oval, they're playing Auckland FC.
Yeah.
It's a make-up fixture because Leichhardt, when they went to try and play this a couple of months ago, was being resown and they couldn't get on the pitch. Anyway, all's well that ends well. They'll play tonight in a nice night of weather. So if you're in the Sydney inner west, get along and watch some live sport. Okay. But the pitch at Allianz on Saturday, after they've returfed it, they've put new drainage in. It looked like a dog's breakfast.
All right.
Brisbane Roar recently have had to get ahead of the game. February, there's Ed Sheeran, there's rugby games, there's everything happening up there. They've moved a game away from Suncorp, the pitches. Are we ever going to solve this problem in Australia, Boz?
Not until they get their own grounds, not completely. You're going to have to work in collaboration as much as you possibly can. However, I will just recite during COVID when you and I were working at Fox and the games were played in September, all at one stadium at the...
Well, July, August, September they were.
Yeah,
catch-up games.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, tomato. Anyway, around that time, and every player that came off, and it was all the teams playing at Combank Stadium in Parramatta, every player that came off said, now, the pitch wasn't great, but I just said, would you take this pitch, bad pitch, or bad weather? Not one said that they would take bad weather over bad pitch.
But at the moment, they've got bad weather and bad pitch.
All right. Well, it's a double whammy. So at least settle for one. You know, okay. It's not the but you got to make do with what you got to make do. Look at the FA Cup ties on the weekend. Okay, you are where you are at the moment.
We had Grimsby and Muddy, wasn't we?
Exactly. So
you played in conditions like that?
Yeah, of course. I played against Grimsby in the fourth round once.
Grimsby.
Yeah, we only won 2-1-2.
In a mud heap?
Villa. Yeah. It wasn't so much a mud heap, it was a sand heap. Very difficult.
Sand heap.
Real test of technique, I'll tell you that.
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
but I'll give you another example as well. And this is where mind can overcome, okay, if you really put your mind to it. At my first stint as a young player at Manchester United, 88 to 91, the year I left 91, and the boys told me this when I came, obviously used to keep in contact with him, this, that, and the other. Manchester United in 1991 had won what was then the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, Red Star Belgrade had won the Champions League. Okay, as we know, those two teams then play off at the start of the season. They played off at that state. That was at Old Trafford. Okay, and what happened at the Old Trafford ground at that time? Somebody had put the heater, because they have undersoil heating for when it's frosted, had left it on a bit too long.
They left the iron on.
Well, not yet.
They singed
too
it.
much, and they singed it. And the pitch was ridiculous. And Alex Ferguson used to always go on about it and he used to go to the grounds. I mean, all you can do is go to the grounds and talk to them. How can we help and this, that, and the other? Anyway, everyone who said Red Star Belgrade came to Old Trafford and played, they were like, the pitch didn't make absolutely zero difference to them.
It's like they were
and I was like,
playing on carpet.
and I remember asking somebody then from Red Star, like how? Well, it was actually Robert Prozinecki because he was involved. He said, because we realised on a pitch like that, you can't roll the ball, you bounce it in. So there's always a way. So bouncing in means that basically instead of rolling it like I do a normal pass 10 metres to you, I hit it in a way that it bounces midway, and then so you get it when it's coming on the full.
skids.
Yeah, like skids off. So in my opinion, it's a sacrifice well worth making until, like I said, until you get to the stage where either you have your own ground or conditions absolutely change. I'll tell you, there is one thing, and I feel sorry this is from a goalkeeper's perspective.
Yeah.
They usually have the line where the rugby union and the rugby league try lines are right before the goal line of football.
Yeah.
Just put it on the same, because those little hole, that's a nightmare for a goalkeeper. They could be going down and go boom, right bounce over. Just put it the same line. It's only like half a metre.
Exactly.
Just do it each side. What difference is that going to make? Mulchi, your comment.
No. The one thing I want to press you both on, because you have made it clear on this program over the last 6 months, you, Bozza, that you're big on the move to winter in Australian football, and Adam has put that down on paper with slight alterations.
Have to.
Is there a case of, are we going to be able to get access to grounds at all with the amount of tenants at, for example, the SFS, where the Roosters are there, the Waratahs are there, and we seem to be third-class citizens?
Well,
when I say we're talking about football, it's the same up in Queensland.
I wouldn't say that, but I would say probably the biggest, like the number one team there is probably the Roosters. I wouldn't say we're behind the what are they called?
Waratahs.
The Flowers. No, the Waratahs. I wouldn't say we're behind them. We're like equal with them. But their games are very similar in terms of what they don't rely on it as much.
But they chew up the pitch.
Yeah, they chew up the pitch, but what are you going to do at this moment in time? I said, it's a winter sport.
So a pitch audit around the country, to your point there.
What my point would be is then the ultimate aim would be to go to somebody, either a private investor or the state or federal government, and say, look, listen, this is not working. Can we please have a stadium built across the road?
But they have been asking for that for 20 years in Brisbane, and no one wants to listen.
Oh, right. Well, that's up in Brisbane. I know we've got, everyone up in Queensland listening in here now. So I'm going to go to the other thing. All right, start a political party called the Football Party, right? $5 membership. Everyone who's involved in football, whether it be from your kids, whether it be your parents, or whoever it may be, all around the country, all pays the subscription. I will use that money to make sure you get a newsletter once every month, and also to put it towards any type of football-related issue, i.e. lobbying, i.e. if there's a player that gets a really bad injury and all that and he needs some help, put it towards him like that. And the rest will hold, and it'll be all transparent. They can all see that in terms of from a money perspective, so they know that.
Politics usually is really transparent.
But what I would say before every state council, every federal, every election, I would get everybody together. We can do this from the techno. I don't have to fly to every state, although if you want me to, I'll be there. All right. I would say, look, listen, we have gone to we have gone to the 5 candidates now, everyone, all around Australia, just to let you know, all the members of the football party. We have gone to all the candidates in this election, and the bottom line is candidate A will do this, candidate B will do this, candidate C will do this. Now, we're not telling you who to vote for, but we're saying you could really swing this election if you vote for this person, because these are the promises that have been made to football around the country. There you go. There you go.
Spoken and authorised by Mark Bosnich, Canberra. Here's the news. With Football Australia have a new boss, a CEO, Martin Kugler, whose first day officially was yesterday.
Yes.
Now,
we'll get him on next week.
We can give our listeners a bit of an insight here. He was my boss for a little bit, yours for a lot longer at Stan Sport.
Yeah.
What kind of man is Martin that football can expect?
Outstanding man, outstanding operator. Now, as we know, football is a completely different environment, and I really dearly hope, well, I'm not going to hope, because if something does sort of go awry, because we know from the past that unfortunately in football circles there have been people that have been there for quite some time. Not all of them, but there are some that have been there for quite some time who, put it this way, don't like change, even though change is a bigger part of life as there always is. It's just a matter of changing into something better than, changing into something that perhaps doesn't work. So I plead with them for their sake, in my opinion. The game at the moment, the local game especially, I'm talking about domestic game, is not in a great place. This man, along with Mike Sneesby, helped build up Stan into the position that it is right now. They've done an outstanding job. He's got football in his blood. He's got really good people around him, and he needs the help and support of everyone. Always is going to be division. Division is a part of life. I mean, you look at politics. Politics is about division.
Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable, but the point is about division is like, okay, you and I disagree on a certain subject, which we do countless times.
Yep.
But we move on, regardless if somebody's won the argument or whatever. But put it this way, if you disagreed with me, just like when I show you, when you laugh at me, when I go, no, it's not, and then I look at it and I go, yes, it is. I'm on your team. All right, I'm with you. I'm like, you know what? I thought I was right. I wasn't. But you know what, Adam? I'm a big man. You were right. Okay, let's go. Let's follow you. I'm not going to follow you blindly, but let's follow you. That type of attitude needs to pervade all throughout Australian football, from the very, very top all the way down to grassroots. And I see it a lot. It's enough. And the overwhelming majority of people in football are good people. So, but the majority of people in football are good people. Have got to stand up when the people who are perhaps not so good, who have got ulterior motives, try to make problems.
So they got a good leader, Football Australia.
Excellent leader. We'll get him on the show next week, hopefully. Yeah, I saw him yesterday at the launch for the Asian Women's Championship, which launches now in 12 days' time, which is really, really good. John Montemurro was up on stage. Poor thing, they. About 5 or 6 different people turned around and said, well, Joe, we should win this and we should. I'm thinking to myself, do you want to put any more pressure on him?
Japan are favourites.
Yeah. All right. Not according to that room yesterday. Right, I'm telling you now.
I'm telling you now. Yeah, Japan are favourites.
Yeah, I know that. So I was only one person in a room, about 500, I reckon. It seemed like that sort of thought, hello, everyone, what about, Japan? Yeah. So
don't get me wrong, we're a good chance.
Yeah, at home. You've got to say at home, of course.
It's going to bring out the best.
But I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about the tournament. It's going to be a really good tournament, and a lot of teams coming from all over the place. So we saw the type of. I mean, it's not the World Cup, but it's the second biggest one. It's the Intercontinental Confederation, which is absolutely huge.
We won back in the early 2010s.
Exactly. So everyone's really looking forward to it. But in terms of Martin, I'm telling you, put it this way. If I had to go away, I'll put it like this in simple terms, which I really understand quite well. If I had to go away for 5 years, and I had $1 million in cash, right, and I had to leave it with somebody, and I knew that they would be still there in 5 years, I'd give it to Martin.
What about me?
No, because I reckon there will be $999,000. I reckon you'd take $5 from it. We're not talking about you. See, it always comes back to you. They say, I don't like this. See, this is division now. I don't like this. This.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Jump on Vossi's show instead next week.
No, if I come back with him, there'll be about $10 left.
Break. Back with more soon. Playoff round of the Champions League this week. So this is essentially the round of 32.
No, it's not.
round of 16, the playoff round.
Playoff round. We've had this conversation before.
Wednesday morning, we've got Galatasaray, Juventus, Benfica, Real Madrid. So Jose Mourinho, boss of Benfica, up against Real Madrid, who he managed once upon a time. Borussia Dortmund against Atalanta.
Yep.
Monaco v Paris. And then on Thursday, Karabag against my mob Newcastle in Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Bodo Glimt, the Norwegians against Inter Milan. Club Brugge up against Atletico Madrid and Olympiacos and Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, and some great clashes there. And just a little point on when we're talking about winter, summer. So you know Bodo Glimt, they haven't started their season yet.
No, because they play through summer in Norway.
Okay, exactly. They have to. Yeah. All right, there's my point coming back to the local. So, and this outstanding achievement coming against Inter Milan side. I had a bit of a, whatever. Inter Milan side who are top of the table. 8 points clear of AC Milan. Great win on the weekend against
around
Juventus.
Europe. Take us around Europe.
Well, okay, that's for that. Yeah, I will. I'll incorporate it into this. Galatasaray, who have, as usual, been absolutely outstanding in Turkey, who are top of the table in Turkey by 4 points to Fenerbahce. And in terms of the other games, we mentioned Benfica with third place against Real Madrid, who have taken over first place in La Liga after Barcelona lost this morning 2-1 to Girona. So Real Madrid now in the clear. Borussia Dortmund, second place at the moment to Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, come up against sixth place in Serie A, Atalanta. Monaco, who are having an average season, they're a little bit down the table.
Yeah, but PSG aren't leading in France for once.
PSG are second. Lens went to the top, only by 1 point, but Monaco in eighth place, literally 21 points off Lens, who are in first. And let's not forget last year as well in the knockout stage, you do realise who PSG played. They played a fellow French side, Brest, which they won, I think it was 10-1.
Stade Brestois.
Stade Brestois. They won 10-1 on aggregate and then beat Liverpool and then beat Aston Villa, then beat Arsenal and then obviously beat Inter Milan in the final as well. Club Brugge at the moment in Belgium, for those who don't know where they're from.
You're a big fan of Belgian football.
I love it. They're sitting in third place. They're only 3 points off the lead. Union Saint-Gilloise on the lead. Atletico Madrid, fourth. In Spain. Olympiacos are actually, would you believe, Olympiacos are second to AEK Athens by 2 points in Greece. Bayer Leverkusen, famous Bayer Leverkusen from 2 seasons ago. Kean Kramer's obviously not happy with the position of Olympiacos.
He's just thrown his chair in the back room.
Next to Molchi in the background. Just thought I'd let you know that. Listen, take it up with Marinakis, Evangelos Marinakis, if you've got a problem with that.
Marinaki.
Yeah. Bayer Leverkusen, sixth place on 39 points in Germany. And, of course, the Premier League, as we spoke about before, Arsenal, we have a 4 point lead over second place Manchester City, a 7 point lead over third place Aston Villa. Manchester United in fourth place on 45 points, very close. Fifth place Chelsea, 44. Sixth place Liverpool, 42. Seventh Brentford, 40. And then below that, Everton and Bournemouth. So there's
what
your little
people want to know, though, at the moment...
Do you want to know the A-League update as well? No? Okay,
what's happening in the Slovakian First Football League, Boz, as we go around Europe?
I played in Slovakia against Bratislava.
Well, they're leading.
There you go.
After 20 games, they're 42 points. Now, this is important because they get in. And what was it again last year in the Champions League? Slovan Bratislava didn't win a game. They finished bottom of the league stage in the Champions League and got how much?
20 million euros. I'll get the exact figure up if you want to watch that.
No, it doesn't matter. Just a rough figure's fine.
Yeah, there you go. Good. 20 million euros from the group stage, which, like their chairman said, they can build a new stadium from that. That's absolutely brilliant.
Quick one. Jared on the text line. Lads, sorry, I hopped out of the car. Is there any expansion news for the A-League? Heard Canberra and maybe Gold Coast, South East Queensland side. Is A-League stable enough for more expansion? I would say not at this stage. They've got to get what they've got right at the moment.
I hear what you're saying, but you know what? We're not talking about just going sort of absolute gay abandon, right? And like just let everything go. But it's time, you know what they say sometimes in the corporate world, time for all ideas to come on the table. Okay? It's slipping, and it has slipped, and I feel very sorry for the players and the loyal supporters because I actually watched a bit of Melbourne Victory versus Adelaide a couple of weeks ago. The standard's good. It was good. It was packed out and this, that, and the other. Yeah? So something's got to be done. If it means expansion, then expand. Whatever. I mean, something's got to be done. Something's got to be tried. Okay, let's get this game to as good as it can be.
Well, in Sydney, there's a club playing tonight, Auckland, who did it right.
Well, yeah, okay. But we saw Western Sydney Wanderers when they first come in. That was an amazing thing. I used to tell people coming from overseas, go to Harbour Bridge Climb, go to Cities Museum, go to a Wanderers game.
Well, on the weekend, on Friday, they had their lowest ever home crowd.
Well, there you go. There you go.
What's happened?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll ask Mr. Lederer has taken back over, I think, full control, even though he was a majority shareholder. Maybe we'll ask him to come on the show.
Yeah.
How's that?
There's some issues out there.
Yeah.
Some issues out there.
Well, you know what? The first thing starts
players.
with, I know, that's great, but the first thing is, developing players, but tell everybody what Craig Johnson just brought up this morning on our show at a time. Developing players, but how much do we contribute to the global girls and boys transfer total money spent on transfers?
11 million out of 19 billion in 2025.
Which is what in a percentage? I think the percentage is
0.0006.
Well,
percent.
For 0.05, you can have 3 million in an hour. There you go. So that's even lower than that. Yeah? Is that right? 0.05?
Advise it when you get your BMW back today.
No, I don't. You know I don't drink.
How's it going? How's it going?
I don't know. He's texted back, but I have to ring him. I don't want to ring him on the show. I think that's inappropriate and rather rude. What do you reckon, Alex? Alex, come on. Ideas on the table.
He's just told me to go to a break.
Has he?
Yeah, we'll run out of time.
All right, well, think about the ideas. We're on the break. And I'm going to ring up Tyson from BMW and see what's going on.
Here we go. All happening in the break. We'll be back after it. Almost ready to wrap things up on Gloves Off with Bozza.
Sorry, where was that? There was a question about Uruguay as well. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to say, fourth in CONMEBOL. That was the South American World Cup qualifying campaign, so that was good. Qualified.
Ruben from Brisbane asking.
Yeah, Ruben, the famous Marcelo Bielsa as their manager as well. Current captain is Jimenez as well. We know him very, very well. They'll always be a danger at the World Cup. Let's not forget their history as well. They have won it twice, but they always produce fantastic players. And with Marcelo Bielsa, anything is possible.
It is. Just a follow-up text from Jared on the text line. Yeah, but was there Canberra United talk to end of the comp? They couldn't find the investors, Jared. They couldn't find the backing, the financial backing to come in. And
is that like imperative? Do you Mulchi? Is that Alex? Is that imperative? Or can we just sort of say, okay, this team's been promoted, and they're obviously running on all the rag now. But if they get promoted, they get more money because from TV. Well, even though it's not a great deal at the moment, but you know what I mean.
I think Canberra's the probably preeminent location for expansion. They're the biggest city in Australia that doesn't have a country, that doesn't have a team.
Yeah,
population base.
Yeah, okay.
Canberra's bigger than Wollongong.
Yes.
All right, but
That's
but there's support. As long as
there's a licensing system with the A-League at the moment. You buy in. You can't win your way in. But that's a topic for another day, of course, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, well, it is. I guess so. I mean, there's a lot of poker games like that as well, but, the bottom line is, okay, all right, you have to buy yourself in. You have to buy
It's a closed shop, Bozza.
Well, it comes to mind, doesn't it, really?
Thanks for watching. Now, if you want more, subscribe to this channel on YouTube or hit up SEN Football on both Instagram and/or TikTok.